Hi, I'm Chris James, and you're watching A Healthy Alternative. Today, I want to talk about the benefits of Michael, and today we're going to be talking about...
Today we'll be making one of my favorite soups.
Welcome to the
tomato
JR72
soup.
Challenge.
I am Animated Mel, and I am your mental and wellness coach.
Or, as always, perfection is not needed, but consistency
We must
is
first lovingly accept what is. You can't heal a body you hate.
I just want to take a moment to say thank you to all of you all for coming. This community is designed to support you in that time. It's really to utilize when things are bad and when you're at your lowest.
I started to learn about emotions. I started to learn about finding root causes, right? Starting to understand addiction and how addiction is not, once again, the issue that we are using a negative stimulus as a coping mechanism.
Part of my mission is to make sure people know that everything we need comes in a natural form. It's already here for us.
I am determined. I am strong. And I am ready.
We must first lovingly accept what is. I often say, you can't heal a body you hate.
This is healthy blood cells. And that's what we're aiming for. So you can see the contrast. Okay? What you do matters.
Thank you all for coming. Be blessed. Good day, everyone. How are you feeling? Hope you guys are feeling well. Let me know you can hear me and see me all right. We can never trust technology. We always have to inspect what we expect. For some reason, I never liked that saying. I think it was because of how people used it. It was like anytime something would go wrong, like I would do something wrong, or not necessarily do something wrong, but something wouldn't go the way it was supposed to go, and it was like my fault. They would say, you got to inspect what you expect. It's like, yeah, okay, that sounds real good, but you also kind of expect people to like hold up their end of the bargain. You expect other people to be accountable. I hate micromanaging. There's always a situation around micromanaging. All right, y'all can hear me and see me. Cool. So you heard that rant. All right. I'm excited today because as soon as I launched this live stream, Robert said, yo, let's go. And I just was like, bruh, y'all, you was waiting. You was waiting. Today, we're going to be talking about overcoming obesity using fasting. And this is the creme de la creme of the branding. People love this type of content. So let's just kind of quickly do a brief outline. I'm not going to be here long tonight, y'all. I don't got a ton of time, but I just want to let you guys know that I appreciate you joining me. We're going to be talking about how to use extended fasting methods to overcome obesity. And we're going to be going over several different options. Okay. Now, because I know we have a lot of new people that have been joining the call lately, I'm a briefly explain why you should listen to me. I know most of y'all OGs are like, Chris, this is a waste of time. You don't need to do it. But I want people to know where we kind of started. So I personally have lost 90 pounds with fasting. All right. Most people don't know that. I don't talk about it much because I'm 6'6". So a lot of the weight that I lose, people can't see. They just think, oh, Chris has just always been slim. You know, at one point I was what you consider skinny fat. So I looked slim, but I didn't have a good balance of muscle to fat. My BMI was not good. And, you know, I was bigger than I had ever been, but I wasn't working out. It wasn't like because I was working out, right? So it wasn't it wasn't a good bigger. So I was able to lose 90 pounds. And I did that it probably was about, maybe it was like less than 2 years, like 18 months. Now, the reason why it took me 18 months was because I was never focused on weight loss. Okay. So my weight loss came because I was focused on wellness, health, and using fasting, you're going to lose weight. Here's the significant thing about that whole process. I learned not only how to lose a large amount of weight, even being a quote unquote slim guy, but then I also learned how to keep it off. Because when I got down to my smallest weight, I was able to maintain. Well, actually, I shouldn't even say I was able to. I could not gain weight back. I was actually having trouble because I actually got way smaller than what I wanted to be or what I needed to be. And I had trouble gaining weight back. And a light bulb went off. I was like, oh my God. I just, number one, I figured out how to lose weight, right? Almost 100 pounds personally. But also, number two, I also know the secret to not gaining it back, even if you're trying to gain it back. So that's where I started helping my brother Steve, who I used him in the thumbnail for this video. Steve eventually ended up losing 200 pounds. But I think in that thumbnail, he was down like 130, 140 pounds, something like that. Well over 100 pounds. All right. And we've duplicated this many times with many different people. Check out the channel. If you guys aren't familiar, you could just see all the interviews and see all that. All right. So I do want you guys to stick around to the end of the live. I'm going to give you some actionable steps, and we're going to break down the pros and cons between, the different fasting methods, how much weight you could lose, so you guys can actually start developing your own timelines for your weight loss process. Now, I do want you guys to hit the like button, share this video out, and subscribe if you're new to the channel, because this is what we do. We teach this. And if you guys have, 50, 100, 200 pounds to lose, I think that a healthy alternative is probably teaching weight loss in the most efficient way possible. So you're not really going to get anything better than this. All right, y'all ready? I made it to 140. Wait a minute. I see a little testimony. I made it to 140, Chris. 8.8 pounds in the past week. 38.6 in 56 days. 6 inches off my waist. 4.25 inches off my hips, 1/2 inch off my bust. Thank you, R72, man. It really works. Thank you. I appreciate you dropping that in the chat. You know what I mean? Because social proof is everything. And how quickly you guys want to do this, how quickly you want to lose the weight is really up to you and your level of determination. So, you guys can choose your timeline. All right. So what are kind of the different methods? If we're looking at the primary methods of fasting, we're looking at juice fasting. Okay, we're going to be looking at water fasting, and then we're going to be looking at dry fasting. Those are like the most common 3 primary methods of fasting. There are a lot of people that would say if you're taking juice or if you're taking any type of food, it is not considered a fast. But just for the purposes of what we're talking about today, we're not going to worry about that too much. So what is juice fasting? We'll start with juice fasting, because juice fasting is kind of like it's a great gateway into fasting. If you've never done fasting before, or if you're having trouble doing longer fasts with like water and dry stuff like that, juice is a great gateway. So it's really just where you're going to juice vegetables or fruit, and you're going to consume that plus water over a predetermined period of time. Now, me personally, I recommend, if you're doing a complete fast, I recommend fasting for a minimum of 24 hours. Anything less than 24 hours, we have different terminology for. There are different types of fasting. But based on what we're going to be talking about today, I'm recommending a minimum of 24 hours. Okay. So that would be a complete fast, juice. And you could do anywhere from 1/2 gallon of juice to 1 gallon of juice. If you guys are new to your journey, you're just getting started, you can do that much, especially if you kind of need it. All right. You might have some hunger pangs. You might have some transitional things going on, so you might need it. One of the pros of juice fasting is it supplies nutrients that keep the energy levels like balanced during your fast. So if you're doing 2 days, 3 days, or a week, if you're new to fasting, that's going to keep you really balanced. Okay, so it's a great option. You don't have to do the more aggressive fasting in order to beat obesity. And that is a common misunderstanding or mistake people make. Juice fasting just is less popular for a lot of people. Well, I'll say in our community, it's less popular. There are communities where there's juice fasting is the primary thing, So it's important to understand like what's going to make more sense for you personally if you're looking to lose weight. Now, one con is going to be that obviously, if you're juice fasting, you're going to slow down your detoxification. And when we say detoxification, we're talking about weight loss. So if you're juice fasting, you are going to slow down your detoxification. Now, that could be looked at as a con depending on your mindset, but it actually could be a huge benefit because if you're doing traditional water fasting and you're experiencing really heavy detox symptoms, then juice fasting is a great alternative. It makes the detox symptoms more mild. So, even the cons of juice fasting are really pros depending on where you are and what you're looking to achieve. Now, I do want to make sure you guys know the average weight loss on each of these different fasting protocol so you can kind of build your own fast. With juice fasting, you're probably looking at half a pound to a pound per day on average. Okay. And it stays pretty consistent. That's a pretty good number. If you guys want to undershoot it, just say half a pound a day. Half a pound a day, juice fasting, and you'll probably blow yourself out of the water as far as like what you actually achieve. Because even if you are, no matter what fast you're starting with, the first couple of days you're going to lose like a lot of weight. If you're going from like a standard diet to fasting, you're going to lose a lot of weight your first day. So your averages are going to be a little higher. Okay. All right. So now let's look at water fasting. Water fasting is the more traditional fast. When people talk about fasting, if they say, you know, what is real fast? What is fasting? What everybody says water fasting. But I'm here to tell you that water fasting is not the traditional fast. It's actually fasting while supplementing with water. That's what water fasting is. We could say it's the traditional fast, maybe over the past 200 years. Yeah, that might be correct. But if we go to ancient times, water fasting was not the tradition at that time. Okay, so and in modern times, we kind of do need water because with each fast that we do, go from juice, water to dry, the intensity of the detox increases. And with those increases of intensity of detox, you get more weight loss, but also you get more detox symptoms. That means more headaches, more irregular thoughts, trouble sleeping, flu-like symptoms, et cetera, et cetera. So being able to mitigate that utilizing different fasting methods is important, I think, to understand. And there's no reason to discount any method. It's really just about what's going to make the most sense for you. Okay. So what is the pro of water fasting? Well, you're looking at accelerated detox and fat burning. So now you're getting your fat burning and your detox, which are really, they go hand in hand. You're getting more of that. So if you want to increase, if you're in the obesity range and you want to get out more quickly, then yeah, you want to lean more into water fasting. But just remember, when you start doing water fasting, if you find it to be really, really hard or you're struggling a lot, then maybe you want to dial it back to juice. Or what you could do is you could create your own hybrid fast, which is something that we talk about. I've got a video talking about hybrid fasting, as well as on our academy, we talk about hybrid fasting, where you take 2 different methods or 3 different fasting methods and you strategically put them together so that you could keep yourself balanced. Okay. And I actually did this a few years ago where I balanced dry water and juice fasting in order to fast over the course of 30 days, which was my personal longest fast. It was a hybrid fast. I've never done 30 days of water personally. And there's many reasons for that. But I think the primary reason for it is I take my own advice. When I fast, my fasts are much more intense than, when Steve fasts or when John fasts. And the reason for that is the reality is when you have more weight to lose, fasting is actually easier, right? So that's actually a good thing. If you got 100 pounds to lose, fasting is actually easier for you than it is for the person that might have like an extra 30 or 40 pounds to lose, but has a concentration of toxins in their system. Because we all got concentrations of toxins in our system, but the way that our fat cells respond to that is why fasting becomes easier or more difficult for certain people. So it's a benefit, I guess, which is it's crazy to think about. Okay. So now, one of the cons of water fasting is, like I said, it's more challenging to maintain for beginners. So, what we do, what we teach beginners to do is preparation. All right. And we have an entire challenge that we put together where we help people prepare for a fast, especially for an extended fast. All right. Now, the next challenge we have coming up is called the 21-day fasting challenge. And it is a 5-week challenge. We do 2 weeks of preparation, and then we do 3 weeks of fasting. And that is the perfect place for beginners to come learn the pieces, the elements of fasting, and engage with it. Okay, you get coaching, you get live streams, and you get access to the secret membership area where all the other fasters are. So if you're new to fasting and you want to do maybe test the waters, maybe do a little bit more intense fasting, the 21-day fasting challenge is perfect for you. That challenge is going to be starting January 5th, right after the new year. So if you guys want to hit the ground running in 2025, we set that up for you. And I'm putting a link in the chat. And also I'll add a link to the comment section later after the fact. And for those on Instagram, the link is in the description or the bio. And so there you go. All right. So fasting done the right way, you can use water. It's a great tool. Now, what's the average? So for all of this work, you're prepping, you've got yourself ready to do this water fast, you're doing the water fast, you're going through the detox symptoms. How much weight are you going to lose? You're going to lose on average about 2 pounds per day on your water fast. Okay. Now, once again, I need you all to understand it's 2 pounds per day in the beginning. If you fast for more than 2 weeks straight, meaning, you're fasting, let's say you're doing a 21-day fast, on day 14, from day 14 to day 21, if you're still fasting, right? So you're fasting for 21 days total. Chris said, okay, 21-day fast, 2 pounds per day. That should be, 42 pounds. The reason why you don't get 42 pounds out of that, if my math is correct, is because the entire third week of the fast, you experience what's called the shrink week, the fasting shrink week. Now, this is probably information you'll never hear anywhere else unless they like subscribe to AHA or have been with us or teach from our manual, because no one ever talks about this. But if you fast straight, the weight loss drops from 2 pounds a day to virtually no weight. So that whole third week, you'll lose anywhere from 0 to maybe 2 pounds. That entire third week of fasting. But what your body is doing during that time is your waist is shrinking and your bust is shrinking, your hips, all the things that we mentioned in the comment earlier. The body is sculpting. So we call it the fasting shrink week. It is an amazing tool for in the place of like facelifts and all of those surgeries you guys would do. But in order to get the full effect, you have to fast for 3 weeks. Water only, straight. You got to fast for 3 weeks straight. And then the body performs the fasting shrink week. Now, you could still get the benefits of the shrinking, just regularly utilizing fasting. But what I'm looking to explain to you guys here is that's the reason why your average is going to drop. So your average is going to drop from 2 pounds a day down to 1 pound a day if you fast for 3 weeks. Okay. I just want you guys to understand that, because for that entire week, you're not going to lose any weight. But trust me when I say it is a good thing. It is a great thing because you don't want loose skin. So when you fast for 3 weeks, you get the benefits of autophagy, human growth hormone, detoxification, fat loss, but then also you get the tightening of the skin, the elasticity of the skin comes back, those cells wake up. And now this is one of the key reasons why people that use our method, they don't have loose skin, or they have very, very little loose skin. Okay. So There's way more we can talk about there, but we're going to move on to dry fasting. So dry fasting is the third fasting method we're going to talk about. There's many of them. If you guys want to learn more about different fasting methods, go to ahafastingacademy.com, sign up for our fasting system, the AHA fasting system, and then you can learn about more about fasting. Okay. Dry fasting is the ancient fast. Dry fasting is the traditional fast. Dry fasting is arguably the most powerful fast. We could talk about, it's debatable. We could talk about other fasting methods. We're not going to talk about it today, but it's debatable. But dry fasting, most people agree, is going to give you the best results. You're probably going to intensify your detox symptoms during your dry fast. So that is a con, right? It's gonna be more intense than your water fasting. But the way the detox symptoms intensify during dry fasting is different from how it intensifies with water. So it's still one of those things you got to experience. So for example, if you guys deal with hunger pangs, if hunger pangs are the thing that knock you out of the fasting ring, dry fasting might be for you. Maybe, right? Like if the hunger pangs get so intense, then when you go to a complete fast, your digestive system goes completely to rest, and then the hunger pangs pretty much go away completely. So a lot of people view dry fasting as the superior fast for many reasons. But it really depends on you. You guys got to learn this stuff and take personal, you have to look at your anecdotal evidence in order to determine which fast makes the most sense. So you have to play around with this. I'm just giving you an overview of these different methods and the benefits. Now, what are you going to experience with this dry fasting? You're going to experience your traditional detox symptoms, but outside of hunger pangs, your other detox symptoms are going to be more intense. So typically what happens is people can dry fast for, 3 days, maybe 4 or 5 days. But then after that, you're not going to be dry fasting for 21 days. Like if we're going to talk about dry fasting, we're not talking about 20, 21 days, 30 days, okay? Is it possible? Maybe we're not going to talk about that right now. But for 99% of you, especially if you're new to fasting, you're going to be dry fasting less than 5 days, okay? So that's a major difference. With water and juice, you do 30 days, 45 days, whatever. With dry fasting, you're going to be dry fasting for like less than 5 days. And in that time, your detox symptoms are going to be heightened. So you guys just have to understand that. What are the pros? Well, you're going to lose more weight more quickly. Okay. So what's the average weight loss for a dry fast? It's 3 pounds a day. Okay. So, when you look at you can utilize these different fasting methods to really stack and like get tremendous weight loss in a very short period of time. I mean, it's phenomenal how the body responds when you give it the right stimulus. Okay. All right. Let's look at detox symptoms overall, because no matter what method you choose, you're going to experience some level of each. But I did make some caveats for you guys. So as far as, what might be more beneficial for you as an individual versus someone else, depending on which fasting method you're looking at. So what are we looking at? Headaches. Headaches are so common. Why? Because a lot of us drink caffeine, we eat sugars. When you detox, think about it like if you were on a hard drug and then you were like, okay, I got to get off this stuff. It's ruining my life. You're going to have withdrawal symptoms. Well, guess what? The prescription drugs you take, they're hard drugs. The sugar that's in your soda, it's a hard drug. The chemicals that are in the animal products and even some of the vegetables, fruits and vegetables, those are hard drugs. So we're not on heroin, but we are still consuming hard drugs. Caffeine is the most abused drug in the world. You're going to have headaches. You're going to have withdrawal symptoms. Plus, most of us are dehydrated. So, I mean, there's really no getting around that. Fatigue is very common. Nausea, irritability, skin outbreaks is huge. Pimples, rashes, all of that. Because the body is going to start pushing toxicity through the skin, through the nose, through the anus, through the eyes. You may notice you wake up and you have eye boogers and mucus. Okay. All of that is a good sign that what you're doing is working. The way you manage it is by throttling the fast, playing with different methods. All right. So all of the stored toxins in the body have to come out. Now, there are some ways that you can be more efficient with this. We'll talk about some tools later on. But if you guys want to do more intense fasts, preparation is key. I'll say that. Okay. I do highly recommend that during the fasting time that you guys rest as much as possible. A lot of people want to exercise. They want to push themselves hard. They want to work. They want to do all this stuff. It's much better to just simply rest if you can. And if you can't rest, if your life is busy, use a less intense fast. All right. Now, what are the benefits? Rapid weight loss. That's what we're talking about today anyway. Rapid weight loss, reduced inflammation, improved digestion, and metabolism. A lot of people think that when you fast, your metabolism slows or decreases. You actually get better functionality out of your metabolism. It's going to stabilize blood sugars, cholesterol, blood pressure, A1C. Like, fasting is incredible. Mental benefits. You're going to get mental clarity. You're going to get emotional resilience. Do you cry a lot? Are you always annoyed? Do you feel imbalanced? Fasting is a good tool for you. Okay. There's no reason why we should all be walking around like Grinches or talking negative or feeling negative thoughts. That is because of the toxicity in our body. If we look at more of the long-term benefits, you're looking at reversing. You're looking at reversing chronic illnesses. Okay. I'll say insulin resistance so I don't get in trouble. I'm on Facebook Live. I will say that your body will regulate blood pressure and sugar and cholesterol and heart problems and all kinds of problems that you might experience when you're very, very ill and you go to the doctor. You guys know what I'm talking about. All of those problems. Okay. We don't have to get specific. There's really no limitation to what fasting can do. Now, fasting's not a magic wand. It's not the end all be all. You have to couple your fasting with dietary strategy. Now, let's talk about how to enhance it, since we dietary strategy is the number one way to enhance your fast. I'm not even kidding y'all. Like, I'm going to talk about tools that you can use, but the number one thing is dietary strategy. Once again, you guys want to learn more about dietary strategy, you want to learn the specifics, join our challenge, the 21-day fasting challenge. We go deep into the dietary strategy and that challenge specifically because it's just so important, especially when you're doing your long-term fasting. Once again, links in the comment section, description box, it's everywhere. All right. So dietary strategy is number one. Now, earlier I talked about opening up elimination pathways. If you imagine this, you have all this trash. Okay. We're looking at the obesity. We're looking at the fat, the toxins. You have all this trash in your system. You need to get the trash out. How do you do that? Okay. Well, you're going to put it in the trash bag and you put it out the curb. The trash guy's going to come get it and it'll be out of your house and out of your life. So what's the body's version of that? Elimination pathways. There are elimination pathways in the body that will usher the toxins out. If those elimination pathways are blocked, meaning the dump truck or the garbage truck can't get to your house to get your trash. If the elimination pathways are clogged, trash will start to build up in your house. Okay, you guys get that? So you need to open up the elimination pathways. The best way to do it is through dietary strategy. We have some other tools. There is a tool called, actually, I'm going to make this easy. I'm going to suggest a kit. There's 3 tools in the kit. It's called the Trinity Kit. All right, the Trinity Kit comes from the Root Wellness brand, one of our affiliates. The reason we're affiliated with the Root Wellness brand is because they are a nutraceutical company. Their products are designed to get to the root cause. Okay, they do not manage symptoms; they get to root cause, and that's a huge distinction to make. And their products work. Now, they're not the most cheap. Okay, you get what you pay for. They're definitely not cheap. But if you guys want the cheat code, the way I told you, the number one way is through dietary strategy. The next best thing is nutraceutical or certain types of supplements. All right. So I want you guys to check out the Trinity kit. That's going to help to that's going to give you clean slate, zero in, and restore. Those are going to help you to open up the elimination pathways. All right. So that's what you really want to be doing. Now, what else can you do? Castor packs. Castor packs are incredible for opening up the elimination pathways. This is if you guys want to spot target, or spot target. If you want to target fat in certain areas of the body, or you have certain issues, you've got maybe cysts, or you need to heal your womb, maybe you have fibroids, or you have a bloated gut or stomach, a fupa, things of that nature. You want to get yourself a castor pack. Okay, the castor pack can target certain areas, certain issues, and then that way you can kind of speed up the healing in that area, or you can help sculpt your body. All right. Now, if you guys decide to join our challenge, we have an option where you could grab a castor pack at checkout, or if you want, you could just simply go to ahealthyalternative.org and you could go to the shop and grab a castor pack. Okay. The last thing I'm going to talk about today is the appetite suppressant tea that we have. When you are a new faster, the appetite suppressant tea is a game changer. It's delicious, number one. Okay. It's an herbal tea. Herbal teas usually are nasty. We crafted ours to be, delicious. I think it's delicious. And a lot of people think it's delicious. Everyone may not think it's delicious, but it is good. Okay. It is not nasty. I'll say that, because herbal teas can be nasty. We don't want you guys putting sugar with your tea. Okay. It's going to defeat the purpose. But we blended it so that it is delicious. And then that way you can have your delicious appetite suppressant tea. You can start doing your fasting, and then everything is good. That way, maybe you don't feel like you got to do dry fasting if you deal with intense hunger pangs. This is a little trick. You take the appetite suppressant tea, and the tea has the instructions on there. Usually 32 ounces a day. Okay. And boom, that's going to help suppress your appetite. If you combine the appetite suppressant tea with fasting preparation techniques, hunger pangs are going to be a thing of the past. Now, we have more tools for hunger pangs because it's different levels. Some of y'all experience intense hunger pangs. I highly recommend you hop into one of our challenges where we're going to go over that more in detail. Okay. So if you need more specific help. All right. So this is pretty much the conclusion. All right. We have a ton of other tools. We've got, we're going to teach you guys how to break your fast properly. We're going to all those sorts of things, because when you start fasting, you're losing a lot of weight. You got to also learn how to go back into daily habits. What's your new normal? All of those things need to be understood, in my opinion, at the beginning of your journey. If you try to learn it at the end, it's going to be difficult. You're going to make mistakes, and you're going to hurt yourself. Okay. I'm not saying you're going to permanently hurt yourself or anything, but you're going to hurt yourself. All right. So I would highly recommend. Oh, you know what I forgot to do? I'm going to put the link. If you guys want to grab. Oh, yeah, I got it. I put it in the chat. Okay. So I'll put the link in the chat for the Root Wellness stuff. And then if you guys want to grab an appetite suppressant tea, I'll grab the link too for that. The appetite suppressant tea is also going to be made available if you guys get the challenge. But if you want to just grab the tea, maybe you don't want to join the challenge, you just want to grab the tea, you can do it at our store. The store is going to have the castor pack and the tea there. All right. So I'll grab that. Once again, hey, y'all, if this information was helpful, make sure to hit the like button for me. Share this with your friends. If you guys do decide to join the challenge, please, let me encourage you to invite one of your friends to come and do it with you. Okay. have a serious conversation with your friends. Make sure that they want to do this. Show them some of the content from the channel. Get them excited about it. And then have them join with you. And that way you have your own little group. You got your own little group. If you don't have a friend or family member to join this with you, then what you could do is just join our challenge and then become a part of our community. And then you could just do it with us. All right. Let's see. Okay, just take this question real quick since you gave us a testimonial. How can you participate in some version of the 21-day challenge if you've been doing R72 from October to December 15th? Would starting on the challenge be beneficial? Yeah. So as long as you have fat to lose, you can join the challenge. You can fast. Okay. What I will say is, as long as in between now and the start of the challenge, you are not, you want to make sure that you are living the lifestyle of the new you, whatever that looks like, eating healthier, drinking healthier things. You want to maintain all of the progress that you've made, and then you just roll right into the preparation for the 21-day challenge. Now, if you want to maintain your R72 schedule during the 21-day challenge, you can do that as well. Okay, so the 21-day challenge is not just for people who are going to do the 21-day fast. We have mothers that are nursing that are in that challenge. We're going to tell you, do not fast, right? Don't do a water fast for 21 days, but you could do a mono fast. You do, pick your favorite fruit, eat that every day. You have to, when you're nursing, you have to keep your detoxification throttled. Okay. Got to keep your milk production up. But what else are we going to do? We're going to suggest certain supplements you could take to help increase milk production. So depends on what you guys' situation is. You got to come join and ask the questions, and then, you'll get the advice you need. But we've been doing this for years. I think this is our 4th year doing challenges. So you're probably not going to ask a question we don't know the answer to. All right. So anyway, I put the link for the caster pack and the appetite suppressant tea in the chat. I'm going to put a link to the challenge one more time for you guys before we rock out. I appreciate you joining me today. I had a lot of fun, quick, fast, and dirty tonight. But I've been doing my best to do lives more regularly to keep the energy flowing, especially leading into our 21-day challenge. I really want to see a lot of you all join, especially if you haven't joined for a while or if you're brand new. And hopefully these talks will help to encourage you. Okay. So hopefully you guys have a great rest of your week. I'll probably be back tomorrow or Friday. I don't know. And I did have that review of the man who did the 100 days on McDonald's. It's coming. I decided to go ahead and do a little editing to it instead of just putting it out raw. But anyway, that's coming. That'll be cool. And as always, the application of knowledge is power. I will see you all on the next video. Peace.
I